All right, you got it? Okay. So, while we were away, we had two good questions, so I want to address both of them because I think everybody in the room needs to hear this. Are we good? Okay.
Let's make sure.
So Jim's question, he's been with us for about 10 years now, just to kind of give that out. And the guy that used to work on this class prior to me taking it over had advocated having, I'm going to call them like microsites, or what he's saying, using the word vanity names. But we would have 6, 7, 8, 10 Facebook pages, okay? And the purpose of that was, so I could, like for me, I could have one that was web design, one that was web hosting, one that was SEO, one that was page search. I could have multiple pages. Facebook is very difficult to create that scenario now. It's a lot harder to do it. But he asked me if he should give them away. Let me explain first why we shouldn't be doing it in the first place, and then tell him how to fix it, and like everybody how to fix it if you have multiple Facebook pages, okay? The reason you can't do it is because you need to have your forces marshaled in one place. Unless you truly can maintain 7, 8, and 10 Facebook pages at the same time, simultaneously, I think most people can't even maintain one, let alone 7. It's better not to travel that road, and the benefit from it is no longer there like it used to be. So there's not really a purpose to do that. I think you actually reflect badly on your business if you're sending traffic to a Facebook page that hasn't had a post on in over a year, or 2 years, or 5 years. Because I'm wondering, what's up with this business? You've not posted anything in 5 years. Are you out of business? Or are you too busy for me? Maybe you're too busy for me because you can't do that, okay? So I have concerns in either direction on that. Beyond that, the world has gone to a brand, okay? I think for those of us that are older, when I would say the word brand, we would think Coke and Pepsi. I venture to say if I had a 20-year-old in there, they'd say, I'm a brand. Because we now function that everybody's a brand in this world. Everybody's making their own thing. I don't know how else to say that, okay? So instead of it being these big people that have a developed brand, everything is a brand. So your business needs a brand identity just like Coca-Cola. The second you start to divert that off, you're now, what is your messaging? Now, I could make the argument, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Long John Silver's, they're all owned by the same people, right? I think they're all owned by PepsiCo, Yum Brands, one of them. I can't remember who spun out where. And granted, the fish place has a fish brand and the pizza place has a pizza brand, okay? I get that. I don't think I have a Yum Brandy people in the room, so I'm going to put that out there. So if you have that circumstance, you become the exception to the norm. Myself, I've got 2 different brands because I've got the hosting company running under one brand and I have the digital marketing running under another. There's a lot of reasons that we did that, but the reality is nobody would buy hosting from a digital marketing company and nobody would buy digital marketing from a hosting company. So we couldn't go into it. Now we're the Swiss Army knife of the IT world, I feel like sometimes. And that's becoming more accepted because people will start to say to me, okay, so we built the website. I have an email sitting in my mailbox today that says, well, we built the website, but you guys didn't tell me I needed Google Analytics. So, yeah, you're right, I didn't tell you because as your web design company, it's not my job to tell you you need Google Analytics. All right, so I'm going to have to come up with a very nice answer because it's a very nice person. But I'm going to have to come up with, hey, you're laughing. I can be nice. Anyway, yeah, I know it's highly doubtful. No, I will handle it but the reality is that's becoming more the norm and more than what's expected. But there really was a long time, and I think even still, you wouldn't buy web hosting from a design company, and you wouldn't buy because of security concerns. If nothing else, because of security concerns. Why would a design company know how to be a web hosting company? They wouldn't. So there is that. So you have to decide what you have. You have to decide, but your brand is pretty darn important. And you all need a brand. So by divesting your brand, unless you have Yum Brands budget, please don't do that. Okay? Now your question was, it started out talking about is Facebook going to stop putting ads and maybe showing more because there's a rumor out there? So my initial answer to you is there's no chance in this lifetime that Facebook's going to stop putting ads on everybody's wall. But then you went on to say something more important, which is, does that mean that my followers will not see me on my business page? And the answer is yes, because you're not paying for that. So if you want your business to be visible in Facebook, even to your own followers, you're going to have to pay for it. I'm sorry to tell you that. There is a mechanism to do it, but you're going to have to pay for it, okay? So just understand that it's going to have to be a cost to do. The good news is, I haven't done it recently, so as I said, the good news is, but at one point, those type things to get that out there, where I could put $10 on there and go 2 weeks and not spend the $10. So there is a reinforcement. And again, I want you to think too about reinforcement of brand, being in front of people. Are they going to click through? Not all people that see you are going to click through to you, but if you're there and they think of you, when you come by, they're going to go, oh, I know that. I mean, you're up to 15 or 20 times somebody has to see your logo before they even know who you are. Used to be 3. Okay, so you're way out there. People have to see you over and over and over and over again before they even think that you are something or hear about you over and over and over and over again.
And you only pay each time they click, not each person.
Yeah, every time they click. So even though they're seeing you, you're not paying for that privilege.
But as you said, that $10 might go quite far then.
Yeah, it's cheap. That's why I'm saying, as we're talking about this, and I really, the reason I'm telling you guys to use Facebook as your co-signer in the world is because they're cheap, okay? They're not expensive. If I said go use Google, I've got people with anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 a month in Google expense. A standard small business cannot afford that, okay? So as much as we want to say, well, they could come up with the money if they can, they wanted to. Some of these people make barely enough to keep their electric on. So no, they can't, and it's an unrealistic discussion. Facebook's cheap. I hate to keep saying that, but let Sophia go first, and then we'll go to you, Michael.
Is the same process for the ads that you're going to tell us about for the Facebook ads to drive traffic to the website?
They're a little more expensive, but they are also cheap.
But I mean, are they the same for events? Like if I
Yeah, you can do it for an event and push the event down. But the event is not going to put traffic on your website. So I want you to understand that part of it. But like if I wanted to, let's say this class, if I really wanted to get smancy in my life, but you see we have a full room, so it would be not really a good idea to do that. I could start putting Facebook ads for SEO classes in Houston, and I guarantee you we would need to go take we need to take a 100-seat room easy, if I did it. Okay, but I don't, and I let those of you that want to come, I give you like Tom, God bless you, Tom. Every single time I put something up, you like it, you share it, you put it out there. He will always have a seat before somebody that's on a Facebook ad somewhere. So I just want, so yes, I could do it. I don't, but I could do it. You could do it, but understand it has nothing about driving traffic to the website. Now that's the other aspects of Facebook. You know, a long time ago.
The reason I asked is because if I sell products like jewelry,
You could have a trunk show ad.
I have a trunk show ad. I want to get people to that trunk show.
Yeah.
And then they can shop online after.
But the only thing is, why would they? You have to come give them a reason to come to your trunk show, because don't misunderstand the way the language I'm gonna use. But if you're nobody, why are they coming to your trunk show?
I hear you.
So that would be my only concern in that. So you have to be somebody to get to. That's another credit card problem, if you will, okay? So we have a different credit card. Not only do you want to buy a car, now you want to go buy a Maserati. So that's a whole different story, okay? Just aim high. We'll get there. Okay, Michael, you're up.
That's quite the drastic budget that you mentioned, 10 to 10,000?
Yeah, I have 2 to 10 running.
Effective. Well, I meant from Facebook to Google.
No. Oh, Google, you mean the Google price, not the,
Right.
like Facebook is like $10.
Price of Google.
Yeah,
Quite drastic.
yes.
What have you seen in the effectiveness of is the effectiveness?
All right, see that's a really arbitrary question. That's a good question, but it's an arbitrary question. And I think this goes on, first of all, you have to do your pay-per-click right, which most people don't, so I'm going to predicate that first. Someday we'll have what I mean is right, but that's not a today thing. So if you do it the way amateurs would set up a pay-per-click campaign, or a web developer that doesn't know how to set up a pay-per-click campaign, I probably think I would say Facebook may be more effective, okay? Because you're not matching query to content. So I might say, but a blind, what do I tell my dad all the time? I tell him a blind squirrel finds a nut every couple hours, okay? That's what happens with Google. Because if I do it enough and I run the budget enough up, I would then therefore generate business and bring business in. See, so this is where that's a hard. They're different modes. Now, for you in a catering business, I would have testimonials about why I would have video testimonials from people that talked about why I wanted you to cater, and that's the way I would run my ads for you. See, I would run yours because now I'm taking the social aspect of it and using the, hey, you like me, it's a personal referral, so therefore you have to, all these circumstances become different, if you will, okay? So for you, I'd run a video and I'd have it be done through a testimonial that says, hey, we were in a bind, we couldn't find, and this is true, you might want to just use this at some point, but the reality is we were in a bind, Holiday Inn put us in a bind, they backed out. We couldn't get Jimmy John's to come to the right place on a regular basis, and enrolled you, and you're my hero. You saved the whole class. I mean, the whole class is now eating because you're here. So that is a fair thing, right? Go ahead, Tom.
Well, first off, I don't think the women's deal has as good a lunch as we do.
Well, thank you. Now, don't tell Ballones that, but that's okay.
But isn't it also a function of search? You're not likely to search for a caterer on Facebook as opposed to Google?
No, I wouldn't, but see, here's how Facebook would know that. They have a pixel, and if I could get that to go, like I had already told him to put some recipes up. So, again, if they knew I was out looking for caterers, they would come back and send me back to caterers. Okay, if I'm a bride and I'm looking to do a reception, chances are I've hit some reception sites, so he may show up. Now, I don't think you do bridal receptions, okay? But for example, he may show up in a search in somebody's, because Facebook's based on interest. It's not necessarily, it's based on behavior. It's not necessarily based on a search. I don't have to actually look for people on Facebook. They just materialize because I did something somewhere that put a pixel on my computer. Does that make some sense, the difference of it? Go ahead.
Is an ad just a post that you boosted? Or
No,
is an ad
and that's
something
what I
you
would,
have
that
to
is
do?
one type of ad. There's several different types of Facebook ads, so I do want to make sure we understand that, okay? Because and it depends on what your goal is, and I think this is where you have to decide what your goals are. When I approach this class, my end goal is, how am I going to get you to #1 on Google? That's my goal. So my discussion is always going to be geared to that. She just told me she wants to run a trunk show. That has nothing to do with Google, okay? So what she wants to do is either offer free jewelry or something that's going to drive. So she's going to put an ad up that's going to be about attending an event. And it says, with this coupon, 30% off of all jewelry purchasing, including wedding rings for Valentine's Day, if you sell them. But you see how I just spun that on its side?
Yes, but I'm also starting an online shop, so this is relevant.
Forget about the online shop for a second. I just want to stay in that one channel just for a second, okay? Because if Valentine's Day is coming, she sells jewelry, she has a trunk show and offers 30% off, I may be apt to go with my 30% coupon and say, where can I go to buy something for 30% off? Because 30% off is a lot. Or 50% off, or 70%. To get the bodies there and understand it may be a loss. That's for her. Now, you said you own a...
Real estate.
All right, so you're owning a real estate company, okay? So you may decide Facebook ads are right for you to just roll out what houses you have listed, okay? And then we can specify by demographics, all right? And what I will tell you is that I'm not moving anytime soon. I have an elderly parent in my home and I can't move, pretty much. The reality is, every time somebody puts up a real estate post, there's one of two things that I do. I go to look because it's something I can't afford and I need my inspiration to aim higher for today. There was an $875,000 house, okay? Or I'm looking to see what my neighbor's house is valued at. I saw one this morning that was better than my house, but it was at $212, and I thought my house was at $225. So I was going, so now I'm wondering if my house went down. So I'm always checking out those real estate posts. What happens is now you're branded as the realtor. I know the two realtors of the post that I looked today. I appreciate the fact that they were ambitious enough to go put it in a Facebook scroll. Therefore, I might be more tempted to call one of them to list my house, because now what I've done is put my brand out there in a way that was palatable to me. Okay? I find sometimes, and again, don't misunderstand, because sometimes I'm from New Jersey, anything's going to come out of my head. I find sometimes realtors get caught up with who they are versus what they offer, and they forget the fact that you sell houses and not yourself. Okay? But I basically just made the case of why those realtors are selling themselves, because they're out there putting those houses up every night.
But aren't they the brand?
The houses or
No,
the realtors? We're realtors. That's why I'm saying I
But they're
basically.
selling themselves.
They are selling themselves, but they're understanding that what they're selling is the product, and those products are their houses. They're not leading with, "Hi, I'm the best realtor in Kingwood. I really don't care that you're the best realtor in Kingwood, because it may take Jesus to come sell my house. I don't know." All right? You see what I'm saying? So, for you, it may be just as simple to get them to click through the listing that you want them to do. And this is why we have to understand what our options are. I don't need them to like it. I need them to go look at the page of the listing and where the pictures are.
So when I build an ad, I can put a click here.
And send it to, do not send it to your website. Do not send, unless you have your listings on your website, do not send it to your homepage. Say, beautiful 4-bedroom, 2-bath house on 16,000 square foot lot in Kingwood. Click here for details. With virtual tour. I'm doing that just to see where there's a 16,000 acre lot or 16 square foot lot in Kingwood, for God's sake. I can't even get out for a postage stamp. So understand what you're doing. Understand what your audience is, and understand how it can benefit your business. But if it was me, every listing I'd have, I'd be scrolling in a Facebook scroll. Absolutely. Go ahead.
You said don't send it to her homepage.
No, because the house is not on her homepage. Now I'm going to need that person to go and navigate and go find the house. Forget it.
So you're saying link it
To the house.
listing.
To the house. Wherever you have that house listed, if it's on HAR, link it to HAR. If it's wherever you can visibly see whatever that listing is, that's where you link it to. Now, some people have an IDX and it's pulled into their own website. If you are that smart and were able to do that, then send it to your website, but don't send it to your homepage. Okay, so that's one type of way to do it. You have something that's staying inside of Facebook. That's another way to do it. We all see boost a post for a like. What is the benefit of boosting the post for a like?
Does it get more engagement?
Yes, there is an engagement aspect to it. And if I wanted to build an audience, like George runs a YouTube channel, so that would benefit George to do that he would have a community that every time he put a YouTube video up, he could send it out to his community could follow. So that's why that would be an appropriate use of wanting to build a community of like-minded people based on whatever your business is. So understanding what type of ad you need. Now, to my mind, everybody needs an ad to go to their website. But I do understand that there are finite reasons why. Like this class, if I wanted to, it would be worth it to me to have Facebook likes for Houston, because every time I put the calendar announcement up for this class, it would and boost it would go out to those people that I've now engaged them to like my Facebook page for this business. So that would be appropriate use of that, but I'd have to know that. The thing is, what I want you to kind of get is what do you want to do, and then make sure you buy the right thing. I think that's a very important aspect of this. Do I need something to go to my website? Do I want to like? Do I need an engagement off of Facebook? What do I want to do? And until I ascertain that, it's very hard to buy something. I think we kind of would agree on that, right? So this is why things become derailed. People are spending money on things, and then they're coming back and going, well, this isn't working. Well, yes, because you're asking for a boost. Well, you're asking us for somebody to like your post. What is that going to do? Yes, I like you. Awesome. I'm popular. If I'm 25, it works for me. It doesn't put money in my cash register. Okay? Now, for you, it might work. Because what do? You're a designer, jewelry designer. So you need people to support the personal brand. So you see, for everything I'm saying, there's a counterbalance. There's another business that may fit into that model. So that's why you have to really... Erica, what are we doing for you?
Pointing people to the website.
Yeah, I know, but... All right, so what you're saying, all your ads that you're putting up, send them to the website? Okay, what kind of ads are we giving somebody something? Or are we just saying, hi, go to see Dr. Dorothy?
Yeah, that was a New Year's ad. Kind of like New Year.
Okay, new ad. Okay, that would be one. What did she tell me? $125 value off a new patient visit to her practice.
Yeah.
She'll give you a free cleaning, a toothbrush, and something else.
I think it's 129.
That's everything, right?
Yeah.
If you're a new patient,
Yes.
okay, now I've added value to that. So we should be running that ad, okay? Dental exams, new patient, $125. We take insurance. Thank you. I mean, it has to be a little nicer than that, but you get what I'm saying. Because now what we're doing is we're giving something away, and if my insurance covers it, all the better. All right, so that would be an effective ad for her. Okay, you like to get up teeth cleaning. Maybe we need a video that talks about why when you don't clean your teeth, there's problems. And at the end of the video, it says, book your appointment over here. Okay? But you're being very generic in offering a dental cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay, for that. Or explaining why I need a dental cleaning. Yesterday at my breakfast group, the lady that spoke was phenomenal. She gave 5 points of how just having a better posture and a better outlook on life will make you feel better. That sitting up straight makes you feel better. Literally every one of you just sat up in your chair except for Jim, who's still hunched up. She gave a great talk. That would be a great talk about why I need to go to her clinic and talk to her about, because I think if I try to stand, I might fall over backwards. I don't know. I don't know what would happen. But I can still hear my mother tell me stand up straight, and 6 years old. So that would be a good one to run an ad for her clinic, which is 5 ways to change your life. 5 simple ways to change your life. Bam. Now I've got a small 2-minute video. Off you go. Come see me. I'll help you do it better. Okay? So does everybody have an idea in their head of where we need to go? You've been very quiet. Do you have an idea in your head? Yes, you.
No, no, that's good. It sounds great.
Okay, all right. And how about you? Are you starting to percolate a little bit?
I am. I have
Okay.
a lot of other questions since I'm just starting out the actual business page on Facebook.
How to create one? Okay,
I have one created, but it's like probably a me and you, just simple
okay.
questions.
All right, that's a different
Yeah.
topic. I want everybody. Does anybody have any questions before we start to get to mechanics? No? All right. I'm impressed. How long did it take me to get there? We have 45 minutes for mechanics now, people. All right. So,
I do have one question.
go for it.
So, I have done a Facebook ad probably 3 or 4 times in my life,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And I bought a Facebook course about 2 years ago, which I never took because they just feel overwhelming. This feels a little bit more digestible to learn the information.
Okay.
People who talk about Facebook ads give you different,
Advice.
yes.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say to you is, do we know that their advice is worth anything?
No, that's what I'm
All right, so
saying.
that would be the first thing I wouldn't do is believe everything you see on the internet. State Farm even made a commercial about that. Remember the guy the ugly guy from the dating service? So, okay, keep going.
But the question is, one of the times I had a trunk show, I did a Facebook ad and nothing happened. And so I'm curious if what you're going to show us now with the mechanics is going to show us how to search for the right audience, yes?
Yes, that is going to be one part of it because I think that is a piece of this, okay? Because if you don't have the right demographics, like you're selling, what kind of houses do you sell?
Residential.
No, I don't mean that. What kind of houses do you sell? $100,000 houses in the hood or
Oh.
$500,000 houses on Memorial?
Yeah, average 425.
Okay, so you're actually a great person because if I want to sell a $425,000 house, who am I not targeting?
The ones that can't afford it.
That's right. We're gonna weed them right out. We're not. If their median income of their house is $30,000, guess what? I'm not gonna do. Sell an ad to them. If they're not living in a house currently, that's $200,000 or $300,000. Guess what? I'm not gonna do. Show them an ad. Okay. If they don't have a college degree, what am I not gonna do? Sell them an ad. Now, we can debate some of these ones I'm saying. I don't want anybody to run in the wrong direction here. But earning power tied to a master's degree, those usually kind of go hand in hand unless you have a weird master's degree.
Facebook knows this about you?
Yes, absolutely they do. So
Because,
why do they know this about you? Is that your question?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I know that there's some profile questions they ask you, like, where they want you to say where you went to school and
Okay, so
gender.
if they ask me what's my highest level of education and I say a bachelor's degree, what do they then know about me?
Right, so you
I don't have a master's degree. If my title is CEO, what is their expectation of my earning potential? $11 an hour? Okay, you kind of see how that, if they see that they track even, like now they know what kind of car I drive, but they track all these things. They know I went to a Catholic high school. So that implies that my background came from a little bit more influent than somebody that lived in, and I don't mean to be, but we're making, as much as we say we don't want to profile, in order to be effective in your marketing, you have to profile. I would never take a $400,000 house and market it to somebody that's 25 years old, that's working at McDonald's. Okay? That's the waste of a click-through. Okay? What's your price point on your jewelry?
It's between 50 to 80.
Okay, so she is safe to go in any type of female, millennial group with a $50 price point. If she had a $4,000 price point, now I have a really bad circumstance, don't I? Okay, so yes, Facebook knows what they're making inferences, but I think as I'm saying these things out loud to you, sure, there's people making $200,000 without a college degree. Absolutely, not picking on. There's lots of professions. I will say, here's a good example of that. Let's say I'm a contractor. I may not have a college degree, but the simple fact that I own a contracting company may therefore imply that I have better revenue. Do you agree with that statement? Okay. So you kind of see how that, they take the data that you give them and aggregate back out about you. We all give them our birthday because we like the happy birthdays. And I'm going to go one step beyond this conversation just for a second. This is why Google so desperately wanted a social network. And they so desperately wanted Facebook. Because Facebook has all this data about every single one of you in here. Now, and actually I'll tell you, and I didn't do a good job of this early on in my life, so I screwed up. I actually was interviewed about this one time. There's studies out there that I could tell you whether you smoke, who you are, your background based on books, television shows, reading material, bands you listen to, music you like. I can tell you anything I want to. I can look at somebody's profile and pretty much give you a summary of who, like basically profile off their profile on the internet. Okay? Facebook knows that too. Now, somebody like me that knows that, you don't have an idea about my religion other than I just said I was Catholic. Okay? I avoid all interaction with anybody that would allow anybody to make an inference about me because I'm somewhat of a public person and I don't want somebody to say, oh God, look at you, you're Catholic, we don't like you anymore. Somebody would be bound to do that. And if anybody's like that, it's okay, it's all good. But what I want you to understand is that there's lots of inferences we can make about somebody. Smokers. People don't like smokers anymore. They're like persona non grata. I don't smoke anymore, I give it up 20 some years ago. Okay, but there's certain attributes that smokers have that non-smokers don't have. If you learn how to read those tea leaves, you're golden in Facebook because it's all there. Okay, it is all there. So when I set up Tomaso's trip thing, I'll show you what I did for him. If I was going to take a trip to Europe, a customized trip to Europe, what person would I have to be to do that?
To set it up, or who you're targeting?
Who am I targeting?
Somebody who can afford the trip.
Okay, so what does that look like? My 16-year-old? My grandmother? Yes. All right, that generation has a lot more money than the rest of us for some strange reason. I don't know how they did that, but they did it. I don't know when I get there if I will, but they do. But grandparents, they're wanting to take their kids to Europe. People that live now, you can look at somebody that lives in a $200,000 or $300,000 home one of two ways. They're either house poor at $200,000, or their house is worth $200,000, but they may only owe $60,000 on it because they've been there 20 years. So there's difference of ways to infer somebody lives. I will say that. But when I picked people with executive backgrounds, people with college degrees. I specifically omitted people with high school diplomas. I completely jumped past them. Age groups, I went anywhere from 30 on up because I think the 25-year-old, their parents are paying for it. But I did pick people that just got engaged. People that they got engaged 6 months ago. How does Facebook know that?
Did you post it?
Because y'all posted on your status update. They know when you got engaged. They know when you got married. I can go as far as to say, if they got married 5 years ago, put them in that group. Okay? This is where, that's a level that Google doesn't allow to that. They have some of that data, but I don't think they have all that data as well as Facebook does, which is what's made them so desperate, if you will. So everybody good so far? So yeah, let's kind of jump into this a little bit.
Beth, is Google at all scraping Facebook pages?
I'm sure they are. They scrape everything. That's what they are.
I heard that
Look,
they block-
affinity. See, I told you. It just keeps showing up. It must have heard me say the word infinity because it just showed up again. So, and Apple Watch. Isn't that creepy? It must have heard me say that too. Apparently, my Apple I can start my car from my watch. That is true. So, but yeah, believe that? There you go. Okay.
Your TV's not on.
Oh, it's not? Oh, good. I'm glad you said that. I don't know what's going to make it come on. Maybe the power's not on. Maybe the TV itself went off. All right. Yeah, I'm over here talking about what's on my screen. You guys can't see it. That's awesome. And what I think happened with this, why Infinity's back, is because somebody sent something on this QX50 for me to look at it because they changed the driving experience on it. So now I'm back to getting, because I looked at the QX50 and not the QX60, which is what I bought. Okay, so we're gonna tell
You know, that's what's really annoying. You go to the shoe site, you buy the shoes, and yet they still send you more ads for the next 2 months. And it's like, you know, been there, done that, enough.
Okay, but let me tell you, now that kind of gets in a little bit of different discussion here. Macy's, all right, so I went to Macy's. The lady at Macy's was mean and wouldn't do a price check, and she was old, and I didn't want to get in a fight with an old person, so I said, I'll just buy what I know I came to buy. But I went home, and I went to Macy's site to go buy what I was going to buy in the store, okay? So now, every day, I get a new offer from Macy's in my mailbox.
Yeah,
Because-
you've already done your shopping.
But you know what? I'll tell you what I did, okay? I did go buy what I didn't know. I just bought $200 worth of new jeans because the price was so good I couldn't pass it up. I mean, it was $70 jeans for $30. I was like, on that thing, 4 pairs to my house
What, are you gonna
now.
buy a second car?
Well,
You
they
just
don't know it, but you know
assume-
what? They did nag me enough on because I had an Armada. They did nag me enough that it finally broke me down after years of showing me an Infinity. I finally went, I just I can't do it anymore, and I went and got the Infinity. So I will say that there is a long-term effect of this.
Did you say that you were brainwashed?
Maybe. Infinity does have me brainwashed. They put purple on their instrument panel. I'm sold every time. Anyway. But no, I want you to kind of understand where some of this is coming from and why. Okay, so there is a value to doing what you're complaining about, there's absolutely, so you bought a pair of shoes, but if you saw the next pair of shoes at a good price, I guarantee you'd still buy them. If I gave you a pair of shoes and it was 80% off its sale price and you wanted that pair of shoes, I bet you would buy it.
Okay, but there are some instances where they got you, you bought it, now be done with your advertising and leave me alone.
But they don't know you bought it. That's the thing. That pixel's not intuitive enough.
That's
But
where
I will say, I did go, I saw this thing talking about the cockpit on the QX50. They don't know that I didn't buy, that I am an owner, and they don't know I just bought one 3 months ago. So they are, I don't know why that I would think that would be bad to do that. Okay? I think you can't overdo it, because if they do that enough, by the time I pay enough off on my car, I may go buy another car and just keep, and I've been known to do that too. So
But if you don't like that sponsored ad,
I don't like it, no, and I stay away from it. It goes away pretty darn
it'll
quickly.
go away.
It does go away pretty quickly. They're going to show it to me probably 2 or 3 more times.
But if you like it,
Then it's going to stay coming back.
forever.
What about if you did the whole, this ad is not relevant, hide the ad? Would you not do that?
You know why I wouldn't do it? Because I still want the freaking ads from Infinity, because if they, all right, truth be told, just to give you the way the buying decision went on this, I went in June to trade my Armada in because it had 50,000 miles on it and I didn't want to put tires on it and blah, 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 okay? So I went there and I was so upside down on it that I ended up could not make a deal that I was happy with. And to you, they sent me an email and I had been paying extra on my car because I had this already in my back of my mind that I was going to want to get rid of the car. And it wasn't going away. It was not like I tried it and then, because every few weeks it would come back up to get a car. Southwest Infinity sent me an email that said, we have a 2017 for $42,500, come on in. And I called them and I said, are you going to give me enough on my trade-in? And they promised to do it and they made good on it. But it was, had I not got that email, I was going to go back to Sewell in December and say, okay, I've now paid off $6,000 extra on this car. What deal can we make? And I probably would have got an 18 at that point, but the car was $15,000 off. I couldn't pass it up. It was that good of a deal. They sent me an email. That's the only reason I knew about it. If they want to put that in my Facebook scroll, I'm not going to turn it off, because they may now go put, every purchase of Infinity comes with a trip to the moon. Well, I'm on it. I'm buying it. I don't care what I'm upside down on. I'm there. But you get what I'm saying. So I wouldn't just discount something. I think that it's effective. Amazon does it to me with books. They send me new books all the time. I think I have more books that I'm going to read on Amazon purchase than I will ever read in my lifetime now. Because between the Kindle and no time, you're shaking your head yes at me. Yeah, we've all been there.
I have that problem at home with someone.
Yes, okay. The other thing I have problems with is Audible. I love Audible now. I never thought I would like Audible. I love Audible. I thought Audible was the dumbest thing. Go read the book. While I'm riding around Houston now, I'm listening to these stupid books that I'm buying that they're sending me emails on. So,
Are you buying the books outright?
yes. I do have a Kindle Unlimited account, but the Audible account doesn't have that.
But
So,
you're not buying the physical books.
no, I'm not buying the physical books. No, what am I going to do with a physical
This
book?
is good.
I need a whole nother house.
I was gonna say.
No, I have this cool little thing called a Kindle.
The people who have those books are my clutter clients.
Okay, yeah, no, not me. All right. Okay, let's come back over here, though. But I think it's extremely effective. I guess is what I'm saying is, I don't care if they're bugging me. I bought pants because they sent me an email and said, you know what, we're going to give you 70% off the pants. I'm buying them because I needed the pants anyway. I appreciate them sending. You know who I don't buy from? My hero, Williams-Sonoma. They send me something every day. And I say they're my hero because I've told you for years they're the only ones that I ever felt like were doing this really right in the long run. Okay? And never buy from them on the internet. So maybe they're not as right as I think they are.
But do you walk into the store and buy things?
When I'm in the neighborhood of the store and it's actually open, I sometimes am at Williams-Sonoma at 5:30 in the morning at the Starbucks next door to it. But I don't ever seem to get there when they're actually open. But if they were, I might walk in. But I'm very bad based on the difference between that. But these are habits, and what's interesting to me is they know the habits. They know, they're even down to what time of day do they get the best response from you. Now, if you send me an email at 11 o'clock in the morning, guess what's not going to happen to your email? I'm not going to engage in it, and chances are, there's my dog. See, I really wasn't. There they are. Just in case you thought I was kidding. They are internet stars, my two dogs. So, but anyway, they even have it down to what time of the day is the best time to show that ad for what you're doing and when it's going to have the most successful rate. That goes for here too. They know there as well. So it's not random. Nothing is random anymore. They have so much data on each and every one of us. So now how are we going to capitalize on that data? Yeah, I know you're cringing. How are we going to capitalize on that data to benefit our business? By the way, I know you were saying you maybe didn't want a lot of kids, but that would be another thing to tap as moms from a demographic. So just put that in your head somewhere. Okay, so let me get into the business end of this. All right, so need to see more. And actually, you know what I'm going to do because I have Tomaso's. Maybe I can't use Tomaso's. He may have changed his password. Okay.
Okay, so to build an ad, you're going to the far right and using that.
I'm going to the far right and I'm picking my page. Part of the reason I'm using him as well is because he's not responsible for 70 properties like I am. You see, he only has his one there that's trips to Italy.
So you click on the page.
I'm going to click on the page. And on the far, see the promote button on the bottom? I can either use promote or manage what I already have running. So I'm going to pick promote because we're going to start. So I can now say, which do I want to do? Do I want to boost a post? Do I want to promote my business locally? Do I want to promote my page? And I say 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick promote your page. Okay? Because that's the one that allows you to go back to your website. Because again, keep in mind, the whole reason I'm telling you to do this is because it's your co-signer with Google. That's what it is. So understand that's what we're talking. There's lots of nuances to this, and we could have another Facebook class that talks about why I just want to keep them inside Facebook. I want you to send people to your website, okay? The other thing is, I'm not going to get into it right now just because it's going to be a little bit difficult to do it. But you do need to set up the Facebook pixel. So if you don't have a Facebook pixel and you need a Facebook pixel, I think I'm just going to put it out there. Just call my office. If I'm not there, leave a name and number. If I'm there, say Beth said I am to talk to her. Because if you do anything else, they won't let you through. And then they come and they say, do you want to talk to this person? And sometimes I don't know who you are. So make sure you say, I was in the class and Beth said I need to talk to her. So we have to put it's the secret passcode, okay? So otherwise they won't, Brandy will not let you through. I promise you. There's no confusion. She just shuts everybody down. So just make sure I know who you are when you call. Because you could call and tell me you're somebody and I don't remember. Okay, so I have to decide what kind of an ad I want to do. And this one, let me see. This is using one. So I'm going to say I want to create the ad. I'm going to go up to the top. And I can pick an image. And see, this is the image that's here. I could also upload a different image. There's a button there to upload it. Make sure everything you do has an image or a video attached to it. And because this is another subclass all on its own, I'm going to give you this too. If you don't know how to make an image, or you don't know what image to do, or you're really confused on how to make things look cool, there's a website called Canva. Okay? It's cheap. And it's $9 and it's $1 for the artwork, and you can make anything you want. Even if you don't know how to make something, you can make something. That's how good it is. It makes even the unartistic look artistic. All right? So Canva, Canva.com. All right? And you would be able to make something that looked like this, takes an image, put writing on the top of it, whatever you want to do with that. Okay?
What about video?
Video is an option on this too, except I may have just caught myself out of it, and I didn't mean to do that.
Who do you use for video?
iPhone.
Software.
iPhone.
Do you,
I-
edit it at all?
Huh? Yes, my iMac does that. iMovie. iMovie, if you have an iPad, there is iMovie for your iPad. You can get it for your iPad, so you don't have to have a MacBook to do it. George, what say you? Because you use the one from Adobe that you need to have a master's degree from Rice, right?
Adobe's a hand, but I'll tell you that straight hand.
Yeah. So
Adobe Premiere.
yeah, you do need a master's or doctorate from Rice in photo editing to use it. It is not for the faint of heart. So-
iMovie's great though.
Huh?
iMovie and if you don't have a Mac, Windows Movie Maker is pretty.
Does it do it pretty good? I haven't used a Windows product in forever. Nor
Windows
will
Movie
I.
Maker's solid. And
Is
it's
it?
free, so.
Okay, because if you do this right, you're only going to need base editing. Like when I do this now, I'm actually going to pretty much, and if you've noticed, I haven't been my normal funny self like I normally am. I'm going to actually edit off the beginnings and the ends where you're all milling about, and I'm actually going to put this up pretty much raw the way it is. It's abnormal that I do that. I want to stress this is enough. This is not going to become the norm. I usually pick out excerpts of it, but there's so many missing that were supposed to be here today. I felt like I owed it to them to actually put this up there. So that's kind of why we're doing this. But it's going to go up raw. It's going to go up with just the beginning and the ends cut off where George was messing with the camera, and then Ryan was spinning it around. We have a nice movie of Jim, just little things like that are getting cut out.
Where's it going? Put this on your page?
I'm gonna put it on SEO 411. I'm gonna put it on my web hosting account, and I'm also gonna put it on the two Facebook for the 2 Facebook pages. So I'm gonna put it in about 5 places, and I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel. So it's gonna be in multiple places. The other thing I'll do is I'll go out and tweet about it. I'll probably run a Facebook ad and say, hey, we had a discussion today on how to run a Facebook ad. We know there's a lot of nonsense up here. We're not trying to sell something. This is just an unadulterated way to we feel a Facebook ad should be run.
And all this computer stuff you're doing will be on there too?
Yes, because what's happening is it's filming it. George, it's in screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's got it. He did a good job and I will tell you, as somebody asked, you notice what I have. I have my $39 tripod from Amazon, and I have my Apple iPhone 8 with the 256 gig hard drive, and off I went today. I knew that I had enough horsepower and my little tripod would hold it still, and we were going to be in good shape. There's no excuse for anybody not to be able to make a video anymore. Okay? I see no excuse for anybody not to be able to do it. Yes?
For the ads, if you're gonna do a video, how long would you say?
2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes. Let me show you Brandon's, being that came up. Let me just jet off of this just for a second, because we put this up. And actually, I even though it's running on Facebook this way, this is where we put it. If I could just spell it right, we'd be in great shape. All right, so I took it also and we embedded it right in the homepage of the website, so it's right here. And you'll see it's 2 minutes and 35 seconds. And this is what, we actually started with the one on Facebook, we started with the frame of Brandon, we didn't put the intro on it. This is where we started it from. And you see there's nothing big to it, but that's all that's there.
So this is just with your camera?
I did that with an iPhone 7 sitting in his office, no tripod, really steady hands.
No sound like audio?
No.
The best way to get a quote for a moving company.
No, nothing. I literally, and Erica, I have Dr. Paul's speech that she did on the anatomy of the mouth. I actually have that on I need to send it to you,
Okay.
because I filmed the entire talk that she gave at Memorial Women's,
Okay,
start to finish, so we can chop that up. So you actually have some
video.
video there without any interaction, but I do have that for you. Okay, but you see how that is? I'll tell you what, people watch this 2 minutes and 35 seconds all too, because it's interesting. He's explaining.
And all you're going to get is an hourly rate for maybe 3 men.
And we did it unscripted. It's not scripted. I just said to him, Brandon, tell me how to get a quote. And this is what he did. That thing's out to 3,700 views now, I think. It's really done very well. Oh, by the way, it's holding people to the Facebook, to my website now when they're coming to watch it too. So there is that. I'm now holding them for that 2 minutes and 35 seconds that they're. So I'm getting the 3 minutes with a 2-minute video because by the time I click, it loads, it does, bam, I'm already in, and I'm there. I bet you I probably am out over that now.
Is that his homepage?
That's his homepage where I put it. I went as far as to put it into the homepage because I wanted to hold people on that homepage. I also did it in case they were silly and they came in sideways. If you noticed, I put get the best moving quote, and it's on this one too. I'm okay to use that video in a couple different places, but we're going to get off the subject here, so I don't want to get too far off. Okay, so let me come back over here. And actually, all right, so I come here. I go to promote. I go to promote a page. And actually there's show more, so let's look at the, cancel that one. Let's look at the show more and make sure that we've got what we know that all of them are here. All right, you see this one says get more website visitors, okay? And this one says get more customer contacts. So there is a way to do that one as well. So just decide based on what you're doing, what works best for you. Let's go with more website visitors. Let me see what he's got running. All right, everyone, if you look down his list that I have set up for him, have out to his website. And you see how much he spent. You see this? We spent $30 on this for in like 7 days. That's nothing. Okay? I'm trying to find, they keep shutting it off because we've had it running for so long. But I have a video of a tour group that he did in Italy. That one worked the best. But let me go back and let's go back a page. So let's use this. We're not going to do this. So it says my image is too small. Why are you saying that? Because I'm trying to, let's say create. Okay, visitors to the website. Okay. All right, so it says what is my URL? So on that, we would go ahead, forget about this morning here because we haven't done anything yet, okay? It says, what is my URL to my website? Now, this one is going to his homepage, but let's say I wanted to do honeymoons, okay? If I was going to do a honeymoon, I may opt to send it to this page and not to the homepage. Now, why would I do that? Anybody want to give me a guess?
Because that's what they're looking for.
That's right. Because if I have to get them from the homepage on honeymoons to where they're going, chances are they're never going to get there. They're going to be confused. They're not going to know what to do. So I'm going to give them the page that I want them to actually land on. Okay? So let's copy that URL. Look, he's got the little chat box. See, he wants to know how he can help us. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that there. Now, I don't have a honeymoon video, but if I did, I can say add a video, and it's going to say, do I want to create a slideshow of 3 to 5 images? I could go make 3 or 4 images on Canva and create a movement that way, or I could select a video off my hard drive, okay? But in either case, whatever I pick, so I'm going to have to, I'm going to say add an image instead, and the reason I'm doing that is just because for simplicity's sake, let me just pick these people here. We'll just confirm their picture. Okay. All right. So I've put my picture in. Don't ever make an ad without a picture. Okay. Do not ever do it. The other thing you may choose to do, which we have done, is go to Canva and make an ad. So we may want to say, have a bride and a groom, and say, plan the honeymoon of a lifetime with a picture of a bride and a groom, and it will put the text over it for you and make an image that looks very professional in this venue. Go ahead.
I do have a question about that, because I know we've tried to do ads before, and I've tried to do ads before where I've had an overlay with text, and then I'll get a warning from Facebook saying, like, your picture has too much.
If you put too much, okay. So what you want to do is put a slogan. You don't want to put a dissertation.
Right.
And what I find is people have the inclination to put a dissertation. You need to put a slogan. Okay.
It's something like a 6-word sentence.
That's probably too long. And if it's actually a sentence, it probably doesn't. It's probably too long. So be careful what you're putting. I mean, a display ad should only have a few words in it, and it should just be the call to action. It shouldn't be some big thing. You know what I'm saying? Choose Neo Rhino for all of your IT needs. No. So it should say, I need IT help! Exclamation point. You see? So you get the difference between those two things. They say the same thing. What I did is I personalized it. I'd actually put the IT in a bigger capital letters, so that they might not even know what IT is. I mean, I'd play with the visual on that. I might have a guy pulling his hair out. We can come up with a visual for that, but it needs to be short and say, hey, don't say, hi, my name is George. I want you to click on my website. That's not going to happen.
To build more text? Is there somewhere else you can put more text?
Yeah, look it. We have 2 fields that we can do it in. Okay, we can. Ooh, I don't know how we received an order, but we want to cancel that. No, I want to cancel that. I'm gonna have to cancel that here. Edit promotion. Okay, I'll have to cancel this altogether. All right, so we can put text here. Look, add creative. We have here. We can put text here.
Okay.
See,
Okay, so if you're doing a promotion or something, you can put that in the text box,
yes,
not on the
and I
photo.
can put a headline, okay, so it says honeymoon packages. So I would call this a night to remember in, or let me do it this way. Excuse me. Believe it or not, I think I'm coming down with a cough again. It'll never go away. Don't ever get a cough in this summer, because this winter it never goes away. REMEMPER. I spelled it right that time. It doesn't like it because it's too long. Because it's a headline, I gotta go will. W-I-L-L. Alright, so there's that. And you notice I didn't say honeymoon. I probably should, okay? Or it should say, we create honeymoons. Last in a lifetime. How about that? Okay, so you see, I put text at the top of it, and I also have my big down at the bottom. Okay, everybody see what I did? So you have 2 opportunities to put some marketing copy. Okay, and then my learn more button goes to my honeymoon package page.
What does the top say? We
create honeymoons that will last a lifetime. All right, so again, I'm very good at puns and plays on words. So you really, my career as a headline writer in college has served me well, because I can come up with them, boy. Some of the things I've come up with through is you would not believe. But I'm going to use the word pithy, okay? Humorous, sarcastic, play on words, anything you can do to make somebody get personal or personalize it or make a laugh or something so that it catches somebody's eye. Okay, so just like I said, when I put up web hosting for idiots, I used to have them rolling in the door, because the first thing they said is, you must be for people like me. I'm now going to do the same thing with WordPress for idiots. The second I do that, what's going to happen? I'm going to have them rolling in the door. So, anyway, okay. Alright, create a night to remember. Okay, so we did all of that. Now here's the part of this that this is, I think, the most important part of it. And I have saved demographics on this, okay? Because I made his list so big. So the first thing I'm going to do is, do I say want women or men? Okay. I'm going to say all. Okay, because I think sometimes husbands plan vacations just as much as wives plan vacations. I'm going to get rid of this 18-year-old person. No offense against you. I'm not age discriminating or anything. It's just you have no money and no sense. Okay, and I'm going to probably get rid of the 65-year-old guy because you may have arthritis and can't go on a trip. So I'm going to knock that down to 60. All right, and then all the 65-year-old people are going to write in and say I'm crazy. All right, and now I'm going to do is I'm going to change this, not for a current city. I'm going to change this out because I want to go national with this. So I'm going to delete this because I want it to be United States.
Could you add more than one zip code if you wanted to?
If you're doing it, but now Erica, who has a dental office, should be doing it by zip code or neighborhood or part of town. Okay.
For clutter people, I would want to pick for zip code.
Yes, you can put zip codes in there, so we could do that. So let's say I'm gonna put 77002. See them all light up there? It tells me where they are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could do that if I wanted to do that. But what I'm gonna do on this one is I'm gonna say United States because that's what I want. I want it as a country. Okay, so I just made a huge group from this, and then I'm gonna scroll down. And I'm gonna say travel, and I'm gonna pick that. And I'm gonna come back, hobbies, okay, travel. I may find somebody that, now I know I'm not gonna do that, but I might find somebody that likes to cook. Interests, let's see, what would they be under? Entertainment, games, movies, reading, TV, fitness, street food, and drink. Why would I pick somebody that like food and drink?
Usually
what
why
Italy
you go to
about.
Italy.
Right? Cuisine. Look at this, Italian food. Okay? I'm not going to pick Indian food because I'm trying to send them to an Italy, not to India, right? So you see how that kind of works. All right, so I'm going to kind of keep going. Hobbies and activities. Now this is where you can spend hours. Okay? Travel. We could pick cruises because sometimes he has shore groups for 2 cruises. I can pick lakes because there's a good lake in Italy. I can pick vacations, and that should, I was gonna say, because it didn't pick. All right, so it's now gonna give me vacations. All right, so it came back to interest. Now I need to do it.
What are these large numbers it's throwing up?
It's giving me how many people that will reach, how much that ad will really reach. Okay. The other thing I'm gonna do is go income. Okay. And I can say, now we think somebody 50,000 is gonna go drop a chunk on a trip to Italy. I'm gonna say, you're shaking your head yes. I'm gonna say no. Okay. I'm gonna want to advertise to people that are probably 125 to 150 minimum, okay? And I'm gonna have to go back to income again because I'm gonna pick more people. All right, I'm gonna pick this one, I'm gonna pick this one, I'm gonna pick this one, and I'm gonna pick this one. All right, so I just made a really large, net worth, okay? I'm gonna say to somebody on Italy, I want people going to Italy with a net worth of over 500,000, okay? Because again, he's offering custom, he's not offering backpack through Italy, sleep in a tent, go sleep in a gondola one because you can't find a hotel person, okay? Just so we know who he's picking. Okay, so let's see what are my other income categories I have, my choices are. Okay, so now I can come to home size. So this is where for you, do I own a home? Am I a first time, do I want a first time home buyer? No, because they're probably living in a house with no furniture or drapes, if I had to guess, right? Okay, homeowner might be that. Home type, a single family home. I don't want somebody that lives in a multi-family home because they're probably in a duplex in the hood somewhere. No offense, but people in the hood don't usually go to Italy, just saying. Okay? Again, I understand that I'm making assumptions here, but this is what marketing is about. I mean, I hope everybody understands that. There is no, okay, there. Life events. Well, anniversary would be good. Anniversary within 31 to 60 days. Why didn't I pick 30?
Too short.
Too short of a time, okay? All right. Away from a family, no, it's not going to be long distance, new job. New relationship, maybe. Newly engaged, 1 year. Newly engaged, 6 months, yes. Newly engaged, 3 months. I'm going to pick all 3 of them because somebody somewhere in that group is going to need a honeymoon, you would think, okay? Now, am I going to pick newlywed?
You probably already went.
I'm not picking a newlywed because my ad is for honeymoons, right? Okay. Is everybody kind of getting how I'm doing this? You have to think about what your demographic is, and then you're going to use this search box to start looking for criteria and widen your net as big as possible. Okay? Don't try to just, I might say grandparent here, and why would I say grandparent for honeymoon? There you go, because they may want to give that as a wedding gift. All right? So you have to think out of the box as you're thinking. As a realtor, you see how all this information is now, I can pinpoint a 425 house. And now, I'm not going to take the 425 house and give it to the guy making $500,000. I would lop him off because the guy making $500,000 probably is half, a $500,000, probably, I'm saying 500, probably 8, 9, right? Do you agree with that? The higher your income, the bigger the houses you have. So,
since you've created a national demographic area
Yes.
versus, say, Houston.
I can create it as Houston, I can create it as local, I can go down to the zip code.
But
And you can add more than one zip code.
Yes, I can add 100 zip codes.
is your minimum to begin advertising, your minimum cost go up if you're in a larger demographic? Or does it always start at $10?
It always starts at $10. You're just going to chump through it faster if you have a humongous group. Let's say let's keep our math simple, I have 100 people and I have 10% click-through. It means I have 10 people, okay? If I do that same thing and I only have 10 people and I want a 10% click-through, I only have one click-through.
Sorry, explain that again.
Okay, if I advertise to 100 people and I have a 10% click-through, I've advertised to 10 people. If I advertise to 10 people and have a 10% click-through, I have one person. So the bigger your audience, the quicker that $10 will go away. They don't say you can't spend $10. It's just that $10 will fly out the window with a group this way. His average campaign spend on these, I usually do them at about $200 and run them for a week. Okay, so when I do his, I do them much larger.
So you also get to choose the time frame.
Yeah, I get to choose a time frame, or I can say, just when my money runs out, shut it off. Okay? I will advertise, if I advertise for this class, I try to do it within just a couple days of when the class is. So I have been known to advertise for this class. So, and do that. So I'm picking and choosing as I'm doing it. So does that make some sense? That's your best friend. That's your best selling target. Now, if my goal is to get people and get pixels on their computers so I can remarket to them from Google, I'm going to go with a really big audience. If my objective is to sell house decluttering to people in 77007, and I don't care if they click to my website, I want them to call me, okay? Declutter are us, call this number. That's all it needs to say, okay? Nothing more. I don't need to get involved with it past that. I don't think they'll let you put a phone number because it will delimit the click, okay? But that's kind of all it needs to have on it. So now we've set all of this up. Let me close this window. We can choose to save it, and then we can say what is our daily budget and how long do we want to run it for, and it'll even tell us how many clicks it'll think it has. It doesn't tell you how many impressions. Impressions is how many times does it show. What it's going to say is at $5 a day, every day, I'll have 8 to 10 click-throughs. okay? And I may leave that running from now till doomsday. This says run it till February the 3rd.
Is there a specific amount that you said 200 for the larger one, but like $30, $50?
I don't even know how to answer that in the sense that, like, yours is gonna be itty bitty, so you may need to put up $25 and then be it. You're trying, how many zip codes you cover?
Probably like 4 or 5.
All right, so you got 4 or 5. You're looking for a blind squirrel in 4 or 5 zip codes that may need their house cleaned. Now, spring cleaning plan ahead with a messy garage. All right, I'd be putting that out there, and I'd put it to everybody. My demographic would be on that. Anybody over the age of 45. So you haven't gotten to 45 yet, okay? But when you get there, you're gonna find out that it kind of hurts every day.
5 years away.
I don't care, you're not there yet. So by the time you get to 51 and a half, I have to sit down when I'm doing this, okay? So it just kind of, you know how that works, all right? So I might be very happy for you to come and clean my garage because it would take me 100 days to clean my garage at this point in my life. I do have some kids running around, so they do that for me when I want it. But the reality is, I wouldn't go target a 30-year-old with cleaning out the garage.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that works?
But I can target a mom for cleaning up the kids' room, the toy room, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
home office or the kitchen or whatever.
Yes, I would say that. And then the other thing that I was thinking is I would target people that are having their parents move in. Because one of the things that we had to do was we emptied out probably 3/4 of my house to make room for their stuff.
How does Facebook know the parents are moving in?
Well, you have to go with certain demographics. I would go 45, lives in a house, female.
Gotcha.
All right, because most of the people that have their parents move in is the female half of that, I think. I don't think many of the men have their parents move in with them. So I would go over 45, looking to rehome your parent, so there's that. Or they're moving to the assisted living facility. You can do that too. Estate sales, so I may be able to do that also. Yes, Ryan?
What's your understanding about that estimated clicks per day? Is that really an allowed amount, or is it a calculated?
It's a calculated amount. They're saying for $5, I'm going to pay I'm going to get between 8 and 15 clicks. Really, what I'm going to get is probably 8 clicks. But if they all happen at 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll be a little cheaper. So I think if I see that, I'm going to go on the lower side of that. And I'm actually kind of surprised that $5 would even buy me 15, but buy me as high as 15. I would have thought it would have been a little lower, but especially on a group that wide. And then the other thing they're going to do is they're going to spread my $5 out over the course of the day. So they're going to start to pick when they think is the best time somebody's going to click through. So you have that aspect of this going on too. So.
Is there an alarm or reminder emails that are set so that?
No, it just pops up in your Facebook and says, hey, your stuff ended. So you have to be on Facebook to know. It's not going to send an email. I might send an email.
It might.
I shut all my emails off, so any emails that I can shut off and say don't send them to me, I tell them please don't send them. Please keep them. I'd like you to keep them on your side of the computer. I don't need any more emails. So I've just shut mine all off. Okay. So in fairness, I don't know that I know that. All right. What other questions do we have? Because we're straight up at 1 o'clock. Your eyes look glazed over.
My eyes,
Yes. Are you
they may be just a
a little fire hosey today? A lot
lack
of
of sleep. Daughter has the flu, so.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking maybe we're coming so
Running out like
fast.
2 hours of
There you
sleep,
go.
so.
All right. Anybody have any questions?
If you create this and I click on it, does that put a pixel on my screen? How do you get the pixels out on my screen?
Okay. The pixel lives on your website. So when I click through to the website, then it's putting the pixel, and then it'll start following them around. The objective is to get them to your website to get the pixel. See, that's my thing in the world. I want as many pixels on people's computer as possible. I want you following everybody all over the internet, as creepy as that sounds.
And the way I initiate that is create an ad
And then send it to your website. So, and you need to have good enough data for it to go to your website. Like, I could take this class and say, hey, we're going to talk about Facebook ads, and put it on there with a Facebook. I would have a pile of people running through there. What Google would then see is that I have all of a sudden I have a herd of elephants running off of Facebook back to my website and they'll go, hey, look at this website. Oh, by the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a summary of what we're talking about with that video and embed the video. So when it does land back on that page, Google's like, hey, wait, this is a valuable page, and start sending me traffic there. So I'm hitting this from every direct. I hope everybody understands what you're doing is you're basically coming at it from about 4 different ways on one single person.
Say again what you just did about writing something up along.
I'm going to
with
take
video
this video that we did, okay? We saved it to my phone. It's living on Periscope. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it on YouTube in its raw form, and I'm going to break out. The first half explain what RankBrain is and how Facebook ties to RankBrain. I think nobody in this world would just say that sentence without that. Really, there is a really definite coefficient for buying traffic off Facebook and sending it to Google.
Great.
Okay? So that's going to be my summary on the first video because we had to break this into 2 videos so you guys could eat. The second one, but I'm putting it with these summaries, a good, well-written 1,500 word summary of what these 2 videos are about, and I'm going to stick them on my website. I'm then going to take Facebook, drive ads off of Facebook, but back to those 2 pages that I'm putting up on my website. So what I'm doing is I'm creating traffic. If I do this right, what should happen is people that go to my website, what they're going to do is they got big buttons that say share this. So if they're happy with what I say, they're going to share it back. So that's going to create another layer of go around. And now I've got more people that I'm putting Facebook pixels on. See, the goal is not to sell something, it's just to put Facebook pixels. That's it.
When the Facebook pixel attaches to the person who's come to your website and it follows them back to Facebook, what does your presence look like on Facebook?
Anytime, no, they're not going to go back to my Facebook page. Anytime I run an ad, it'll appear in their scroll. So I want to make sure I have a good, solid ad program for when I send them back. I need to send them back that says, hey, buy web hosting from us. If you're with HostGator, we're in Houston too, but we're nicer than them. I mean, I would put up an ad that said that. HostGator, only nicer. You know, I mean, I just don't know how else to say these things. But you know what? Anybody that knows me knows I can say that and get away with it, right? Okay? So that's that's the kind of stuff that I would do. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to put this whole big thing up, get a whole bunch of pixels. When they come back to Facebook, what they may get about me is a hosting ad. They may not get an SEO ad. Because the chances of me selling a hosting account are a lot greater than me selling an SEO account off of Facebook. So you see how that? Because I need a lower price pointed item. So everybody understand what I'm doing? You're kind of getting it? All right? So that's how we're approaching all of this across the board. Any more questions? No? Okay. Rock on. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yes, Michael?
Is there a way to track how many pixels you put up on the video?
No, because you're only putting 1 pixel out there, and it'll come. It's just impressions then, and how many people have visited your website. It's not like I can see how many people. I guess I can to some degree because they would have had to come to my website. Yeah.